Moving from outer chaos to inner balance, a 28-day immersion. We are on day 12, the alpha mind. Yesterday, we talked about 3 different ways that we can nudge ourselves into happiness. Today, we are going to look at it from a different angle. We already know that our body and our mind are linked, are connected, and body has an impact on the mind, and the mind has an impact on the body. Scientists do not agree on how many thoughts we think, but the range that scientists have given us is 50,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. That's what an average person thinks. Of this, we are only aware of 10 to 20% of the thoughts with our conscious mind. The rest of it is buried in the subconscious mind. Think about the times that we have thought certain thoughts and our heart started beating fast, either out of fear or out of excitement. Certain other thoughts would have made us sweat, and other thoughts would have made the face go red. This is all examples of the mind having an impact on the body. Thoughts put us into a sympathetic nervous system mode, and we talked about this on day 5. Scientists have also looked at the brainwave patterns, and they have assessed that we operate out of 5 different brainwave frequencies based on the quantity and the quality of our thoughts. These brainwaves, we move either into a beta brainwave pattern, or a alpha, or a theta, delta, or a gamma. Normally, we operate out of beta brainwaves, which is what most of us experience when we are in the waking state and when we are thinking. When we are stressed, we are in high beta frequency. When we are relaxed, we are in the alpha state. When we are meditating, we are in the theta state. And when we are in deep sleep or in a samadhi state, we are in delta state. Gamma state, the best example would be when Schumacher is driving, he is extremely alert and extremely relaxed. That combination is a gamma brainwave. But for most of us, we operate out of beta or out of alpha. And what's the difference between the two? I'll give you an example that most of you may be able to relate to. Say we are working on a project and we have to put together a project report. We have been working for weeks on the report, but it's not moving, especially not at the speed that we want it to move. We are still not clear about the topics, and we are not clear as to what goes in the different topics. We have been working very hard, pushing ourselves for long hours, but somehow it's not making the kind of progress that we want to. And then we take a break and we come back, and suddenly everything is falling in place. We are very clear about the topics, what goes in the topics, ideas are coming in. We are in a flow state, a creative state, and totally relaxed, not at all stressed. It's an enjoyable process of working, and that is the alpha state. And when we realize the power of the alpha state, especially for doing work and any kind of work, we will realize that spending a little bit of time, investing a little bit of time to push us into an alpha state is really worth its while. So how do we go into alpha state? Because the body and the mind are interconnected, we can use the body to let us go into alpha state, or we can use the mind to nudge us into alpha state. If you are starting with the body, exercise is probably the most easiest way to go into alpha state. Exercise releases dopamine and serotonin. Both are feel-good hormones. Yoga is a very wonderful way of de-stressing ourselves and elevating our moods. Regulated breathing is probably one of the most effective ways that we can use our body to shift us into an alpha state, into a state of well-being. On day 2, we talked about Brahmari breath. Yesterday, we talked about alternate nostril breath. There are many other breaths that you can find and pick what works for you. Just do that. If any of these do not appeal to you, just deep breathing, deep inhale, deep exhale itself is very powerful in shifting us into a state of well-being. Environment plays a very important role. If our environment is beautiful, clean, uncluttered, it's easy for us to shift into alpha. Being in nature is again a very simple way. We have all heard about forest bathing, where being with lots of trees elevates our mood and we really feel very good about it. In fact, doctors in Japan are prescribing forest bathing for people who are prone to anxiety. Environment also includes the company of people. And we all have experienced some people, just being with them, even if they don't talk, just being in their presence helps us into a state of alpha. Another way that we can use our body is to use the power of the senses, especially the ears, music, healing sounds, binaural beats. Binaural beats are those beats where we use the earphones. It introduces one frequency into one ear and the other frequency in the other ear. And when the sound starts traveling, the difference in the frequencies allows the brain to shift into the desired brainwave pattern, whether it is alpha or theta or delta. So binaural beats are another way of shifting into alpha. Now, there will be some times when we don't want to start from the body, we want to start from the mind. If that is the case, we can start with sensory awareness. We talked about it earlier in one of the days, using the awareness of the senses, the inputs from the senses is again using the mind, prayer, elevated thoughts, guided meditation, and also frameworks like Mindscape, which give us a tool to use the mind to go within our subconscious mind. These are all frameworks that we can use to go into alpha. So you can start anywhere. You can start with the body or you can start with the mind. Any of these that appeals to you, invest a little bit of time into shifting ourselves into the alpha mind, the alpha brainwave pattern, and we will find that we are generally feeling much more happy and a sense of well-being and relaxation. So I'll leave you with the alpha mind, and I will see you tomorrow on day 13. Bye-bye. Namaste.